Bitcoin is setting up to move here into a new all-time high, and I'm going to show you which level we need to watch here really urgently before we are then finally moving into higher prices, or if we get rejected from there. So if you think that's interesting, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, like this video, and activate the bell so you will never miss out on these really important updates. And now let's start off with something else before we go into the charts. Guys, I'm so close to get a deal done for you, only for you guys. I will not get anything out of it. That's a deal for you that is coming. And the only thing that I can tell you about this deal so far is you will need a BYBIT account. So if you don't have one, go and make one with the link in the description or in the pinned comment below, because you have to make an account with my link. And be subscribed to this YouTube channel and have the notifications on, and deposit between $100 and $200 on your BYBIT account. I cannot tell you anything more, potentially until tomorrow, maximum after tomorrow. But trust me, guys, this is something nobody else is doing in crypto right now for his community. Nobody. You will not find anybody doing something like this. I'm telling you, it is high rewarding if you go now, sign up a BYBIT account, put $100, $200 on it, subscribe to the channel, have the notifications on, and lean back and see what's going to happen in the next 2 days, what we are going to announce here for you. And now let's get into the Bitcoin charts. So I want to start off with talking about the ETF inflows, because yesterday was the second highest inflow day that we ever recorded since we have the ETF, which is not really long, let's be honest, 6 months. But nonetheless, it is the highest inflow, the second highest inflow that we ever recorded. You can see here 870, what's this here? $866 million worth of Bitcoin were bought here yesterday. And that is a really big number. Imagine almost $1 billion worth inflowing here into Bitcoin. And that, of course, was the reason why we went here massively up. Euphoria is coming back into the market in the current optimism stage, and that's why we are moving here in direction of a potential new all-time high in the next coming days. The other point to make here for a new all-time high is that we are finally in the spring of the Wyckoff reaccumulation pattern here on the daily chart that we were talking about for now quite a long time. And it also means here correction period is coming to an end pretty soon. So it will be completely over when we start to break out here above $72,500. Until then, we are technically still in a correction phase. But like I said, this might change here really soon. I give this maybe 3 to 4 days where we consolidate under $71,300 before we flip this level into support and then start breaking here into higher prices. Here on this daily chart, you see another reason. So they're accumulating, like we accumulate our Bitcoin. Also here, factors are accumulating that we're getting a major break here to the upside. Here on this daily chart, it is the inverse head and shoulders pattern. We have here twice now tested the $71,400 level. Here you see again why this is an important level to break here for Bitcoin. Once that level is broken, there is some substantial resistance above us. We're going to talk about this in a moment. But the target of this inverse head and shoulders pattern is in the $86,000 range, $87,000 range. Once we are breaking here the neckline at $71,400, flip this into support, and then we're gonna see Bitcoin flying here into new all-time highs. On the 12-hourly chart, finally, it took such a long time. It really was a little pain for us to watch this, but we finally broke here the golden ratio. We got so many times smacked down from here, over here, over there, every time confirming this as resistance. And yesterday we finally broke through that, and now it looks like that the $70,400 level is our support. That is the prior Monday high. As long as the Monday high remains our support over the course of this week, the next target is here the next Fibonacci extension level the 1.618, 1.65 at $75,377 on the high side. Indicators telling us that there's still some room to go higher. The RSI is around 67%. This can go up to like 80, 90%. So there is quite some room to go a little bit higher. The stochastic is getting a little bit overextended. We are getting here into overbought territory, but also the MACD can still fly here way higher because just yesterday we printed a buy signal, you know. So again, the stochastic can remain here for quite a while in the overbought territory before we come down. What you don't want to see is price going up, the RSI starting to turn around and do something like this and diverge from the price action. Once we are seeing this with a bearish divergence, then we need to pay close attention because there might be then a short-lived correction over a couple of days before we actually get then a proper move to the upside. So, but until we are seeing this, we are fine. You know, we continue to stay here in this uptrend. I want to talk about on the order book flow, on the order book heat map, where the next bigger levels of resistance are sitting and which levels are holding us down and preventing us from breaking higher right now. So one small level, not a really big one, is around $71,500. Then a really big one is around $72,000. You see here almost 1,000 Bitcoins sitting at $72,000. And then the next ones, you see, they have orders stacked here, which is telling me they are trying to gatekeep the price when we are breaking above $72,000, and these orders might get pulled. So they are only spoof orders. So spoof orders, again, I'm going to explain real quick, is when you put an order, but you're not really serious to let this order get executed. You just want to scare market participants at these levels from prevent the price to go higher there. Because they bet, they have short trades open, so they bet that the price is going lower, you know. So and they potentially also open short trades around these prices when we get closer to it. That's why you have to watch the chart really closely when we break above $72,000. If these orders get pulled, when we get closer to 72,200, 72,400, 500, and so on, because this goes on here, 72,873, 73, what is this? 73,200, you know, so this goes on for quite a while. And to the downside, the next bigger level of support is around $69,000. I wish I could move my mouse here over to the chart, but as you can see, if I do this, we get some bug issues here with the chart, you know. So even if I do something like this, maybe then here, yeah, you see here 69,000 is the next bigger support level, and below that is 68,300 as the brightest one with the biggest order amount in here. Lose $68,300 and we will definitely go into lower levels. For the time being, I'm not seeing this. We're at $71,000. Everything is pointing to more upside in the short term. You also see this here on the daily chart, here in this resistance area right now. Once we are breaking through this, you will see a major pop in Bitcoin and another short squeeze, the same what we saw yesterday. The RSI was bouncing off the 50% level as expected. We are here at 62% more or less right now. Also here, there's so much more room to go to the upside. The stochastic is getting soon into exhaustion, but also here, this can still take 2-3 days before we see any major effects of that. And it will most likely just push us into some sideways consolidation before we get our next move to the upside, especially with the MACD just have printed today, with today's candle opening for the day, the buy signal that we were waiting for. Here on the 4-hourly chart, we are now already in a consolidation phase, in my opinion. We broke out of the symmetrical triangle as we expected. Remember, I told you I would have liked to see a proper break more or less here. That's what we got yesterday. And we were retesting the $71,400 level. For now, got rejected from there 3 times in the last 12 hours, which is fine. I was expecting something like this, that we're not slicing through this immediately because of all this on this side of the chart. And the RSI is here quite overbought right now and is pointing to the downside, which is telling me that we are most likely starting to enter a small consolidation phase. So it could also be that we do something like this, you know. So, but again, as long as we are staying above $70,400, I would not be really concerned about this. You know, maybe we go a lot of sense to see some consolidation like this, you know, then either get a bull flag or we are getting a falling wedge pattern. And then we see a break to the upside, flipping $72,000. And then we continue to move here to the upside, because also remember, the target of this symmetrical triangle was in the $74,000. Now, in terms of liquidation levels, we have liquidated all over leveraged short positions that were stacked above us yesterday. And here, the same thing, we are facing resistance right now. There's also not a lot of short orders directly above us. So we need to push here above $72,000 to start triggering here, at least on these liquidation levels, some short squeezes. Right now, over leveraged longs are below us, but again, they are so far away from current price action that I don't believe that they get anytime soon tapped here. When we're looking at the liquidation heat map, things looking a little bit different here, but also the upside is favored based on the liquidation heat map, and that is based on the hot areas here around $71,650 and $71,800 approximately. And then you see here this big cluster around $72,000, $72,600. Once we are entering here, $71,600, $71,800, we are going to trigger another short squeeze that will get us above the $72,000 level, most likely. If we lose $70,600, we might go all the way down to $70,400, as I just mentioned on the previous chart, because here is also some long liquidity stacked and concentrated. But once that is taken out, I expect a big pushback to the upside. The Bollinger Bands showing us also that the price action has to come down a little bit. Let me explain. Usually when we start trending alongside the upper band of the Bollinger Band, at some point price is rolling over like here or like here and start to correct a little bit to the downside, starts to go sideways and chop a little bit before we then do the same thing all over again and start getting closer to the outer band, to the upside of the Bollinger Band. So right now, I would expect at some point that, let's say by Friday, Saturday, something like this, we come back and test the middle band of the Bollinger Band, which would be around $70,600 at this moment in time, and then trade a little bit sideways along that before we get then the next move. Oh, before I forget this, we get really close here to our price target of $74,500 here. So when if you look from where we came and where we at, we came from $67,400. That was our original entry, and we are almost 10% up on this. You know, okay, now it's 5.5%, but on the high side we were up like 6%. Okay, not fully 10%. Sorry, guys. You know, so but I think yeah, when the move is completed, that is over 10%, I think, or roughly, yeah, 10.5% when we get to $74,500 approximately. And guys, don't forget, again, I want to mention it, if you want to trade anywhere with me together, do it on BYBIT. You still get $30,000 for signing up there. And of course, what I also mentioned at the beginning that I'm not sharing right now, also on Margex, trade without KYC, amazing exchange. And if you are in the UK or in the US, use BLOFIN, BITGET, or Phemex. And if you just want to copy trade me, go to FAIRDESK. They have still the highest bonus in the industry, $120,000. All these links are in the pin comment below and in the description of the video. So go and check them out. And of course, you support the channel with that, which I highly appreciate. Now, let's talk about the Bitcoin dominance and some altcoins. I tried to get a little bit faster through everything, you know, because getting already a little bit too long here with the video. The upward sloping trend line on the Bitcoin dominance is still holding as resistance. If we can close today below that level and just have a retest of it, I expect that we tomorrow reject to the downside and see some major altcoins popping then to the upside, and we're going to talk about this in a moment. At the same time, Bitcoin will consolidate based on the 4-hourly chart. So here on the daily, we will not see crazy moves, but we also will not see like here 5 days of consolidation, something like this. We'll be mostly concentrated in tomorrow's and after tomorrow's candle somewhat before we then see the next attempt to move here higher. But like I said, over these 2 days, we most likely see a move to the downside in dominance, which will lead to upside in major altcoins. The USDT dominance is also dropping here. We need to get to the 4.3 level once again if we want to see Bitcoin above $72,000, $74,000. Again, once we're breaking the 4.3% level, we should be at a new all-time high or pretty close to it. Or let me put it this way, once we are below that level, it's quite certain that we are reaching a new all-time high shortly afterwards. Ethereum is also trading in a symmetrical triangle here, the same that we saw on Bitcoin on the 4-hourly chart, just that Bitcoin moved already and Ethereum is lagging. The reason for that is also that we are facing here this big resistance. Look here, since here we are below that resistance, the lower end of it, and cannot reclaim it. Once we are starting to break into this level and can actually close a 4-hourly candle with a candle body within it, I expect that we are going to break this level and we finally see a massive pop here, because I want to remind you, the more you suppress price action, the more volatile will be the break out of it at any given moment. So right now the stochastic is overbought, the RSI is going sideways, MACD also not looking so healthy, so we are most likely continue some sideways chop here for Ethereum before we finally see here a substantial and big push to the upside in one single candle. FDM Phantom is testing right now the dashed downward sloping trend line. Once we are closing a daily candle above that, also a really quick move here into a dollar is something that we're most likely going to see here. We saw big moves here in the past into the $1 level, and this time I believe that we're going to flip this, and then for my long-term trade, the $1.70 level and potentially higher price targets are in the cards once we are seeing that. But I'm gonna take some profits around the $1 level, just that you are aware of that. So if you want to trade Phantom, you're not too late. You can technically enter now. It's not a bad moment to enter this. Just make sure that your stop loss is like at 79 cents, so roughly 5% from the entry price, and use leverage accordingly. Then COTI. COTI is getting rejected from the resistance area here at 14.4 to 15.1 cents. Not surprised by that 12-hourly chart. So we might come back to the downward sloping trend line here if I can. So most likely coming back down to this. That would bring COTI back to like 13 cents 0.6, which is not the worst place, to add to your current position that you have opened at 13.2, and then just wait after a small consolidation and indicators cooling down with the next leg to the upside here. Solana is looking healthy. We have broken the downward sloping trend line. We are above the golden ratio. Also, if you're too late for that trade, you're technically not too late to enter here because here's so much more room to go to the upside. We're about to get a buy signal on the MACD. For today, we are going a little bit sideways, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Just make sure that tomorrow is a green, so you won't potentially wait until tomorrow to see how things are playing out, because if tomorrow for some weird reason we get a push to the downside, the golden ratio down here might be a better place to open a trade if you are now sidelined for the moment. Then optimism is about to break out of this downward sloping trend here. I'm getting quite trigger happy to open here a position into the $3 level. That is already a 20% move, and this can happen here in one single candle. Look at this here, so in one single candle that can happen. That's why I'm right now quite trigger happy and want to open a position, because we could just get another crazy move to the upside into $3 in one single day. you know, and then the next day we get a small rejection again and then break it and continue to go to the upside. That is something that I'm looking at for optimism right now. And I think I might open a position. Check again the Excel sheet in the comment section, you know, where I track all trades that I take publicly here with you guys together on the channel. So just watch it, you know, so I might open a trade here. Then near is a trade that I have taken. We broke the downward sloping trend line. We're moving to the upside here. We are just getting started with this move. So you're not too late to enter this, in my opinion. The target remains $8.10 and then potentially $9 here to the upside. And then quick, the last coin that we're talking about is WIF. WIF is, of course, associated to what's happening with Solana. If Solana is not moving, WIF is not moving for most of the time. Here we just got a buy signal on the daily chart, on the stochastic RSI. If we can hold the current price level, expect tomorrow a bigger move to the upside. But again, Solana needs to play along. If Solana dumps tomorrow to the downside, then also WIF will come back to the downward sloping trend line, most likely to the $3.30 level, because there's now support, and bounce off from there over the next couple of days, then to the upside. Guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.